Welcome back to Black Skies Reviews, new miniseries for Joytoy's 1/18 scale Mech II Strike type. In part 3, we're going to be taking a look at the materials and the articulation of the mech before all of the contents that came with the mech separately is applied. Because from my experience with the Mech 1, once you apply the armament to the arms and the legs, it definitely gets in the way of the articulation, and you start stretch. You can stretch bands, pop connectors, and all kinds of problems if you're not careful. So let's start taking a look at the articulation. As we go through the articulation of the mech, we'll take a look at the different types of materials and see how they're good quality or they're prone to breaking. So let's start up top with the head. The head is on a ball joint. Well, you know what, let's just do this because we can get this kind of, you can turn the head side to side, and so the face hits the chest armor, and you can feel it, this bottom piece kind of drag a little bit here. You notice sometimes in some of the product shots the head kind of sits down a little low, but actually you can pull that head up. So like this, grabbing it, and you can see it pop up just a tad bit, so it's not as hidden. So it goes down. You can pop it up, make sure chest armor is in place, and you can get a pretty good view of the face sculpt. So this is articulated here. This will rise up in here, as you can see right there, and this will go all the way back if I don't knock my camera over. It's so hard to do this with this thing. This guy is huge. Trying to keep all this in frame is very difficult. Okay, got the camera set back up. This thing is really tough to review because it's just so big. It's hard to keep everything in frame, and then you knock stuff over. So sorry about that. Okay, so back to the top of this thing. So hard to articulation here on the back. It will go pretty much all the way up like this, but you're not going to be able to see too much because of out of the camera. That definitely exposes the head to where you can see him pop down, pop back up like that. You can see the joint right there. And then without it being fully out of the way, you can spin the head 360 and just have two red dots on the back of his head. There's really no side to side. It's on a joint here that goes back forward like so, and then obviously you can set it down into to get a hidden face view. Some different string on there. Okay, so, and then it's articulated right here, so you can bring it down in like so if you want to do something like that. But the joints are there if you want to. So let's bring this over. The idea is to get this to sit down just above this pouch, so to be fully seated down. The head sometimes gets in the way, and then see if we pull this down and push that in. Because if you put this piece on top of that pouch, then it kind of pushes the armor up and helps hide the face even more. I showed you this part in part 2 where there's a hidden Skeleton Forces logo behind there that just pegs on like so. So let's take a look at the arms of the mech. So they are on a ratcheted system. First off, you can fan these arms out. I want to pick this back up again to show you. You can fan these arms out like this. There's a joint right there. And that's what that looks like. This whole piece here sits inside the mech, as you can see all the way through it now, since both arms are actually out of the way. So you can stick your finger in there. So that's kind of cool. It gives you extra flexibility to bring your arms out for poses. And then Just close this thing back up like so, and it kind of gets those little boxes hide inside his chest. But for his arms, like I said, they're on a ratchet. They go 360 all the way around. Both arms are the same, so I'm just going to do the one arm. And pouches and everything else is falling off this guy. So they will raise up this way as far as you, about right there, on both arms. Back down. Let's see here. We have rotation here to this joint here. All the way around 360 like so. Okay, so here at the elbow, he does bend. You can see the ratcheting there. Just be very careful that you don't pull off pieces. For some reason, my elbow keeps wanting to fall off. And you can see as I put the hand back on, I don't know why. It's just a pig system there. I'm not sure if I'd like that. There's some grease on there or something. Okay, so you can see that that's actually more than a 90-degree bend there, which is very cool. And there's the hand again. So since we have the hand off, let's take a close look at it. So this piece kind of slides off if you want. I don't know why. See, there's like this grease on there or something. I don't know what that is. So for a hand, both hands are the same. They can make a fist, as you can see. And it can come out like that. Just go over here. If I'm not the camera over again. So we have, starting at the base of the hand, we have articulation here on the thumb and the fingers. And then both knuckles, I guess on pin knuckles. See, on the tip of the thumb, I think right there, but I can't get it to work, but if you look on the fingers, you can get the tips of them right here to bend, and then right there. And then, of course, at the base of the hand. You can see all those very articulated fingers. See all that. And I don't think it bends there, if I'm not mistaken. Right there, but it does bend at the tip for the thumb. But you can get a pretty good look how well articulated the hands are. Very nice. We have a pad here on the top. I just don't know why that one will keep falling off. The other one doesn't fall off a lot. Just hope it doesn't make a habit out of it. All right. Okay, so before we move down to the lower legs, we're going to take a look at the cockpit. I raised his hands up to get him out of the way. So basically, you just need to come up here on top. This little piece here is kind of like the clip that hangs over this little piece here. So you just got to kind of get your finger in there and lift up on it a little bit. And then that's it. Just hit a little lip right there. And get him to stand back up, and then we just bring. You gotta watch this big duffel bag. It kind of gets in the way a little bit, but that's what that kind of looks like inside. Let's see if I can get a light in there. I'm not sure if I can. There we go. So that's what that looks like inside. We'll touch more on the cockpit in the farther into our mini series. We'll take a look at the figures, how well they fit here shortly. But then one of the key things to this seat part is you're going to want to have to try to get this loose. Now when you first get it, this is going to be very tough to get off. But the key, you have to get this to break free by trying to pry something very carefully under here. These feel like a brittle piece. The arms seem to be a better, and the legs seem to be a better quality plastic. than some of the other parts. So you definitely have different types of plastic here. Like the cockpit, the whole cockpit assembly, and this piece here on the front seems to be a more, I want to say, brittle type of plastic than the actual legs and arms. The head is kind of more like, you know, this kind of plastic, and this is a different type. It doesn't feel as, you know, fragile to me. So I'm not sure. So let's see if he has any waist articulation with all these pads on here. He can ab crunch down. Things are falling off as I'm doing this. There's no back, it's just a forward. You probably could get more if we move this. Oh yeah, you can get way more. Just fold him in half. That's what that looks like on the back. Pretty cool. There we go. So, for his legs, we have do a split pretty much right to there. Wow, that's gonna be hard to show off. Like so. Until this part starts hitting into the body piece. And we do what I'm gonna call our thigh swivel right here. Right here. On both legs are the same. So we'll bring these down. And we'll try to go this way with them. Kind of like that. My hands are in the way, so it's hard to hold on to. So let me go ahead and get this back to stationary. You know, I must say, like, it's hard to hold on to with all these soft goods on there. I'm gonna bring in the Fear 1 Mech for comparisons. This material they're using is like a vinyl. I don't know the technical term for it, but this is just. The Velcro on the Fear 2 seems to be so much inferior to the Fear 1. They nail it with the Velcro and the material, so it's clean, it works, it's durable. This is just like it's a fragile mess, and the Velcro is barely even holding on the pouches. But the Fear 1 Mech is definitely more superior with the soft goods. So in my opinion, that the Fear 2 Mech's goods are definitely not the same. It's a really cool design, and I do like how they have the zippers and stuff on it, but this material is definitely not as good as Fear 1, so that's definitely something I'm disappointed in. So let's get back to the articulation of the legs the best we can here. I mean, these got stuff falling off all the time. You do have these nice working pistons here. We do have a knee joint. If you watch this piece, it's just so hard to hold on to with all this stuff. You can see that this pin collapses into there. It's the same feature from the Fear 1 Mech. And I go down bumping the camera again. And then there's a joint here and here. It's really tight, so you want to be careful. And then, of course, it can go forward like this if you wanted it to. So let's try to get that straightened back up. And then on the back here, on the back of the legs, we have these two covers that it's articulated right here and right here, so you can bring it up for the bottom articulation, and then up like that if you wanted to. And there's a very small one that kind of mimics that. Basically, you can go up that far or down. It's kind of nice that you can put them out. Gives you some nice detail to your mech. So that's how I get the feet. So the feet go back like that, like that. Then we have side to side, and then there's no rotation 360, but if you can spin the entire leg if you want to do that. So that's pretty much the articulation in the legs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get him back together and be right back. Okay, so there he is, all back. Pretty much how I took him out of the box. Some final thoughts on the materials and on the articulation. First off, you can't help to worry about articulating your figure in the different poses, because you pay. These things are between, when they came out, $125 through anywhere up to $150 currently. And I mean, most sites like pre-order sold out for this. So if you do break it, it's like you're just kind of like, it's going to be very difficult to get another one or an exchange, because there just isn't any out there. There may be a few in the wild on a secondary market, but they are a limited edition, and so it's definitely makes you really want to be careful manipulating your joints. The plastic, you got different grades of plastic in here. The arms and the legs definitely are a little better in plastic. The joints are tight. They're on a ratcheting system. The plastic for the head, the front body piece, and the cockpit are the same, more brittle, or I should say, plastic. And then the soft goods. When you're trying to manipulate things, the Velcro, at least on my unit, is subpar. It's not good. The pouches are barely holding on. This stuff is constantly falling off. Like this guy here falls off a lot, and you can see how this just barely hold on. See what I mean? So I don't know what's going on with the Velcro on this. I do know that this is not in the same quality as the Fear 1 Mech. So, but it is, overall the aesthetics are beautiful. I do like the overall look of it. But it's definitely, this one's very fiddly. I play with my Fear 1 Mech every now and then. The biggest thing with the Fear 1 Mech is when you bend the elbow and knee joints, the straps kind of want to stretch or get in the way of the articulated joints. So with this guy, I mean, for the body, the waist, and the kind of the shoulder back area here, just little things fall off here and there. As you can see how this is just barely holding on. So I think a lot of what we've seen in our past part 2, when we looked at the parts, a lot of it's a good heavy plastic. Maybe won't fall off or get in the way of the elbow joints. So, all right then, that's been our part 3 of our mini series for the Joytoy Fear Mech II Strike Type. Hope you enjoyed it. I will be releasing all 5 parts at one time, so you can see it in your leisure, if you can watch it straight through, or if you can watch it parts here and there with your schedule. Just look for my playlist on my channel. That way you can start at part 1, and if you wanted to watch the whole thing through, you can just just run straight through in the playlist. Yeah, it's going to be probably about an hour or so long, so I know everybody don't have a whole hour to dedicate to watching a toy video. So that's my reasoning for doing these mini series, is that way you guys can get the quality of review and at your own time. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. That way you don't miss any parts or any great videos I put up. So we will see you in part 4, which we will have the mech fully armored up, and we'll take a look at it and some other things. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in our next part.